All right, a very good morning to you once again. Thank you for staying with us, and I trust that you had a great time with Vicky V on Sports on Eagles Wings. It's 4 minutes gone past the hour of 9, and this is the hour where we talk politics and current affairs. My name is Omohefe Peace Osemere. I actually hinted, earlier that. On Eagles Outlook today, the focus will be on labor matters, especially looking at the fact that Nigeria joined the rest of the world yesterday to celebrate Workers' Day. And it looks like the celebration here in Nigeria was quite low key for obvious reasons. And it appears also that a number of Nigerians are dissatisfied with the progression of events in Nigeria, and that can actually be hinged on the rise in the cost of living, the inflation, and somewhat the poor, take-home pay at the end of the day, coupled with the controversy still surrounding minimum wage negotiations in Nigeria. And I'd like to quickly let you in on the fact that we plan on having this conversation with the head of information and public affairs, Nigeria Labour Congress, the person of Benson Opawels. I make deliberate efforts to link up with him. I'll quickly give a background or share background to the conversation this morning. All right. So, on the occasion of this year's Workers' Day, which was commemorated or celebrated yesterday, the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress, that is the NLC, has expressed concern over the impoverished and dehumanized conditions of Nigerian workers. Speaking on the situation, rather, the NLC President Joe Ajaero said it is unfortunate that Nigerian workers are constantly compelled to live in a society divided into two classes, where we have the oppressed and the oppressors, we have the bosses and the workers, we have the haves, we've got the haves and the have-nots, all right, lamenting that such a situation has only worsened since the last May Day celebration, talking about the May Day celebration last year, 2024. However, rather than celebrating, according to the NLC president, workers in Nigeria, they find little cause for joy, like many other citizens. And this can be traced to the worsening socioeconomic situation that has further deteriorated their living conditions, leaving many of them impoverished. Now, summing up the plight of Nigerian workers, the NLC lamented that since the current administration took office, workers have been under severe strain. The labor union maintained that amidst all of this, their movement remains the strongest and most vibrant on the African continent, even stressing further that they have or they would continue to work together with the Trade Union Congress, which is, of course, its counterpart, to negotiate the national minimum wage. And they've also, the NLC is also, assured of its steadfastness in their engagement with state governments. Now, on the flip side, we're made to understand also that the NLC has demanded, amongst other things, the upward review of retirement age for all categories of civil servants in Nigeria. And the NLC President Joe Ajaero made the demand during the May Day celebration yesterday in Abuja. And you recall also that in the course of the pages or the newspaper review segment of the Eagles Morning Rise breakfast show this morning, we saw a particular headline that spoke to this situation, looking at comments from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, where he slammed, the ruling All Progressives Congress, for workers' hardship and also insecurity. But at the end of the day, should we apportion the blames, to the party, the ruling party, or just the policies that we have on ground? No doubt, the President Tinubu-led administration is under the All Progressives Congress, all right? So when it comes to constructive and objective criticisms, just like we always stress the need, for people to always uphold right here, would you say that the opposition political parties, the PDP, for example, now, would you say that it was somewhat different in terms of policy, reforms and initiatives, looking at the former President Goodluck Jonathan's administration under the PDP? The reason why this conversation, this comparison is coming forth is because of what the PDP is saying at this point in time, blaming the APC for workers' hardship. Has anything changed, from the previous administration up until this moment? However, I don't know, trying to link up with Benson Opa seems to be a difficult task for me in the studios right now, but I'll keep trying. Hopefully we get across soon enough. So but at this juncture, I would like to get your perspective to this very topical issue, looking at the fresh demands that have been presented to the federal government by the NLC, that's the Nigeria Labour Congress. They are demanding wage review to ease the cost of living crisis in Nigeria. That seems to be a tradition in Nigeria, by the way. Every May 1, right? Every May the celebration, it's always on the front burner that they demand for a wage review because the cost of living crisis is biting really hard on Nigerians and of course the workers out there. But as a Nigerian worker that you are, be it in the public or the private sector, how was the celebration for you yesterday? Are there takeaways from the celebration yesterday? And then when you look at the body language of these trade unions, the NLC and the TUC, what exactly is your conclusion to the carry on of the right of Nigerian workers right here? The numbers to call this morning to join the conversation are 09073530044 or 09087668888. These are the numbers to call, dear listener. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number, and that will be 0909 705 44 and 50. Also looking at the push for upward review of retirement age, for all categories of civil servants. How realistic is that? Do you think that is one thing the government is going to consider at the end of the day? How best would you describe the life and the status of the Nigerian worker? You might just want to use yourself as an example because they say he who wears the shoe knows where it hurts. So just tell us, share with us really your own experience as a Nigerian worker. Do you think we're making progress in terms of decent wage or wages for workers? And if you think there are better alternatives as to how the Nigeria Labour Congress can further dialogue or even negotiate with the federal government, you can also share those suggestions with us on the show this morning, with hopes and belief that the relevant stakeholders are listening and probably would key in and maybe just adopt some of the suggestions that you might make on the show this morning. All right, the topic of discussion basically is on Workers' Day 2025, assessing NLC's fresh demands. Yes, so let's hear from you really. What are your thoughts? Hello and good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Umberfed.
Good morning.
God bless you, ma.
Thank you. Good to have you. Your name and location, please.
Happy Workers' Day to
I wish you the very same.
To every other worker out there.
Right.
Yes, my name is Hundu.
Okay.
From Nasarawa State.
All right. Please go ahead.
Yes, I want to congratulate all the workers once again. It is tough time for every worker in Nigeria, both those who are in government and those who are in the private sector. The challenges are many, including the bad economy. No matter how much you are paid, if you go to the market, you will buy anything you want to buy, and you discover that the money that bought that thing is big, but what you are buying is very small. For example, you can take a salary of 75,000, which some governors have increased, as you know, minimum wage to the market. you can't buy a bag of rice. You might buy half bag of rice. But for a family of 4 or 5, that half bag of rice is going to take them like how long? And how about other things like oil, other things like filling of your gas? So that money is like a drop in the ocean. But even for some civil servants who collect out to 200, 300, because of bad economy, that money is nothing. And also the cost of transportation. It's not all workers that had the opportunity to get, welfare buses that will be carrying them. They still go to work using normal transportation, public transportation, and they spend a lot. And at the end of the day, sometimes those who are not well paid, transportation takes more than half of their money. So I would like to advise Labour to continue to fight for good policies, and not necessarily the increment in their salary, because as it is now, even if they increase minimum wage to 200,000, it seems like a drop in the ocean. The economy is bad, the inflation is biting harder. So let Labour, like in those days of Edgar Moshoro, begin to fight for good policies, so that all of us, even those who are not part of the Labour per se, go to the same market so that they can also enjoy.
All right.
So let Labour continue to fight for good policies, from the government, so that the economy can improve. Inflation will drop, so that even if you are collecting, 100,000, that money will have value. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Tarikin Behundu. Beyond pushing for a decent, wage, he thinks that a lot more needs to be done, and even if we peg the minimum wage at 200,000 naira, it still won't be enough. Let's squeeze in this call. Hello. Hello, good morning to you.
Not be you, na him.
Hello, good morning. All right. I don't know what that is all about, but you might want to call back, and this time stay focused on the call you're trying to make. All right, 09073530044 or 09087668888. These are the numbers to call this morning to be part of the show. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number and tell us just what you make of, the Workers' Day celebration this year. What do you think is the challenge? Or maybe we should pluralize it, because the issues, they're quite many, right? So what are the challenges of the Nigerian worker? As a Nigerian worker, what do you think must be done at this point in time by the government, by the NLC, and all the relevant stakeholders in such a way that you feel proud? All right, you don't necessarily, you really don't have to wait for May 1st every year rather, to feel celebrated or to be celebrated as a Nigerian worker. But every day of your life should give you that satisfaction, that fulfillment, that sense of belonging, that indeed you are a Nigerian worker, be it in the public sector or the private sector. What are the issues really? Most of the time it's around the poor pay, the poor wage, and what have you, the inflation rate, the cost of living. But beyond that, what do you really think should be on the front burner right now if we must argue or even fight for the cause of a Nigerian worker out there? Hello and good morning to you. Hello? Yes, good morning. All right, do want to call back, and the numbers are still very much open. You can join the conversation. At the same time, I'll keep making efforts to reach out to my guest, Benson Opa. I really don't know what is going on this morning, but he did tell me that he would be quite busy this morning, media engagement and what have you. But let's see if we can still sail through with the conversation. Hello, good morning to you, Felix.
Hello, good morning. You are now getting my number through.
Yes.
I am good today. I hope all is well with you.
Yes, we'll be here later today, specifically 12 noon. Yeah.
Okay. You see, we Nigerians are very courageous and hardworking people, very good, and can take risks. When you talk about Nigerian worker, you are talking about a consummate and ideal worker in the African context. He's hardworking, he's committed, he's dedicated. But the situation here in this country, the environment is not that conducive for us to show this commitment and dedication, because the take-home pay is nothing to write home about. The accommodation is not there. Then the fate of those who have gone ahead of the young ones is nothing to reckon with. And so there are a lot of discouragement around. A lot of things that are happening that are really not helping the Nigerian worker to give his best. This is the situation we find ourselves. But if the government can actually take care of those who have gone before, I'm talking about the retirees, and accommodated, properly taken care, I think the need of the stealing money or embezzling money will not be there. And it's because some of them, they do this because they see what has happened and they are afraid that the same will happen to them. They now start dipping into government airports and try to take care of themselves. But if this care is provided, accommodation, fair, security, all these messages on ground, I don't think the Nigerian worker will be this sad and pain.
All right.
They want to give their best. They want to give their best.
Felix, before I let you go, a quick question, right? Would you say that things were better off during the PDP-led administration or under former President Goodluck Jonathan?
I can bet you right from the PDP to date, there is nothing better off.
Okay.
It's getting worse every day. And I am holding PDP as the party that laid this foundation of suffering and party. The PDP have done well. If people have taken advantage that they had then to do the needful, we wouldn't be in the condition we find ourselves today.
All right.
So, and they said this one of both of our position also on the people. The people in the military wanted to chase away. They said, no, we don't want you people. They have come and they are in government and they are not giving us the best. They are not going to discover the dividends of democracy we need. It's very unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation.
All right, Felix, thank you very much for your contribution. All right, and 09073530044 or 09087668888 are the numbers to call this morning to be part of the conversation. Send the voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 090970544 and 50. Assessing the life of the average Nigerian worker on the street. What has changed? Are we making progress, or we're just beating round circles? And at this point in time, just yesterday, the NLC issued fresh demands to the federal government, and notably amongst them is the fact that they want the government, all right, to have or to tinker with the retirement age, benchmark for all categories of civil servants. So they want an upward review. But is that really the issue? Is that really, what is that really very important at this point in time? And beyond pushing for a decent, wage, maybe minimum wage of 75,000, we've even seen some states increase, that benchmark. But is that really what we need at this point in time, or a very candid conversation that should be maybe aired live so that all Nigerians can follow through, where people can ask questions? Maybe, just maybe, that will put to rest the demands, the unending demands, the back and forth between the NLC and the federal government. All right, now let's hear from you what your thoughts are. How much of a concern is it to you as a Nigerian worker what you're being paid at the end of every month, and the minimum wage we're even presented with at this point in time, the 70,000 naira minimum wage? Some are paying 75, some are saying 77,000 naira. If you were to peg a decent minimum wage and even make it as a proposal to the federal government, how much would it be? Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, sister.
Yes.
Darnoja is my name. I'm calling from Abuja here.
Good to have you, Darnoja, and happy Workers' Day in arrears.
Yes. Thank you very much. Listen, we don't have a labor union in Nigeria now. Labor union we have in Nigeria is during past Kapantia and then Adam Simon. These people, they are part of the government now. Since when political movement came down, since when this administration came out, they have increased their petrol money, subsidies. Labor union, what they achieve from it, no reduction, no abolish, nothing. NEPA money, the same thing. All the tax where they inflate in the worker. You are giving 70,000 naira, and then you are taking about 80,000 naira from them. From there as the tax. That means that the salary is not used to them. The 70,000 now, it's not just half a bag of rice in the market. So we don't have any labor, they are just a part of the government. If the government brings something out, they will tell you they are going to negotiate with the government. End of the day, that's nothing they will achieve. Tell me, somebody should come me and tell me, say, since when this political program, especially this administration, upon all the inflation they are causing in Nigeria, which one labor union over fighters? Ajero went to try it, and then they are pressing Ajero with a treason charge. Ajero they have back off. All what they say yesterday, they just said it. There's nothing they are going to achieve from the government.
Okay, so
and then
Elder.
The problem I have. Hello?
Yes, please.
The problem I have with this government, they are from the DECO government. And then the DECO government has used labor union in Nigeria to achieve military. Right from Babangida, they made Babangida to step down. Use labor to step down. During Obasanjo, they used a labor union to disturb Obasanjo. They train in my president now. It's an agent of NEDECO in America. He broke Abacha. That's nothing they give to Abacha's government from America.
Elder.
They use labor union. The same person in the government now where he's supposed to give labor union free hand to operate. Now he has put labor union into his pocket. That's not the labor union ever in Nigeria.
So are you now saying, before I let you go, Elder Noja, will it be right to even think that you are also of the school of thought that things were better off under the PDP-led administration under former
100%.
President?
100%. Tell me, since when this government came to power, what reform I ever achieved? Even we senior citizens, retirees, tell me during Abacha, during Buhari do something to pension. Now the retirees, they have nowhere. The senior citizens, they have nowhere. If you go to hospital, if you don't get money to take out, you die there. There's money where they call a consultancy in the hospital. After taking card, if you don't get money to see doctor, you die there. And then if doctor see you, doctor is not going to see you, you only recommend him for test. And then the money of test, if you don't get there, you die there. After test, you go back to doctor, the medicine they are going to write for you. If you don't get money, you die there. Hey, there's nothing there. Nothing in school, nothing. Somebody to come and tell me say things that the government came to power.
All right, Elder Noja. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution right there. All right, 09087668888 or 09073530044 are the numbers to call this morning. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 09097054450. I see a WhatsApp message right here, so I should quickly press play to it. Let's hear what this contributor is saying. Hello, good morning.
Welcome back, the presenter,
Good morning.
Mrs. Omoife, and other dignitaries in the studio, all the family members. I still remain Sedentini Ibrahim from Abad. Regards to labor demand on issue of salary increment or wage increment is very necessary and very important, because labor has failed from the beginning. When fuel price was high, that was the point that this should have made things easy so that government will understand and slash down the price of fuel. And now things have gone higher and higher. The inflation is too marathon. So at this junction, there's no way NLC will cut down price of things easily the way we think. So, and this has to be done with experience. Definitely the experience here is that one, salary has to be increased. It's very important. Second, the option is that NLC should also take caution or precaution in relation to the federal government in order to stop any increment in goods and services. Then things will come to normalcy. And this is the way. Lastly, regards to the issue of increment of year of service, it's very good, but the question here is that how will the younger ones get job? Daily, day by day, we are graduating students in the universities, colleges of education, and other institutions like that. So by the time the queue does not move, how will those that are at the back step forward to get a job in Nigeria? So it is not issue of increasing many years in service that matters, but good remuneration or good payment for workers, so that by the time you retire, you will be able to go home with something reasonable. You can see even in education today in FCT where we are, primary school teachers are on strike many months now, where things are not properly put in place. Even the minimum wage that we have talked about, the little 70%, 70,000 naira minimum wage has not been implemented. When you go to secondary school level, the same issue applicable. It has been implemented, but the tax is too high. When you go to tertiary institution, the academians or the academies are also in the forefront complaining that some of the incentives are not included in their salary. Then the best way, the hard way, is to increase salary. One, secondly, also to control the prices of any further disaster, the prices of goods, to avoid any further disaster. Thank you. I remain Yunus Adentani Ibrahim, audio from Abaj.
Yunus Adentani Ibrahim, thank you so much for your contribution. Having a price control a system in place is indeed very critical to fighting or even addressing the inflation surge or spike in Nigeria, right? I mean, we've heard that from economists over time, but we just take a quick break now to go pay some bills, and when we return, the conversation will continue and the studio lines will still be open. Hopefully we're able to link up with Benson Opar, because we really need some sort of analysis or assessment from him, being the information or head of information at the NLC, that's the Nigeria Labour Congress. Do join us again in a short bit.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Introducing the Mark Homes Limited, your partner in real estate, committed to turning your dream homes into reality. Now selling the Mark Royal Estate, a premier mixed-use development by the train station in Kagini, Abuja. Residential plots, commercial spaces, and top-tier infrastructure, all in one vibrant location. Coming soon in Gwarimpa, the Mark Mall, a bold commercial hub designed for visibility, accessibility, and long-term value. Visit us today at Suites 14, 15, and 16, God's Own Plaza, number 4, Chakum Street, Area 11, Garki, Abuja. Log on to www.themarkprojects.com or call 070-7921-9075. The number again, 070-7921-9075. The Mark Homes Limited, turning your dream homes into reality.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Oh yeah, now logistics. Oh yeah, now logistics. 1, 2, 3. You want order food? Oh yeah, now. Straight to your doorstep. We dey come. One pick up something. Oh yeah, now. Or drop off something. We dey come. Maybe you need help for shopping. Oh yeah, now. Direct from your favorite. We dey come. You want order your cooking gas. Oh yeah, now. Direct to your doorstep. We dey come. We dey run massive discount. Oh yeah, now. Just place your order now. We dey come. We dey run free delivery when you order. Oh yeah now.
Hurry now and download Oya Now app on the Google Play Store or Apple Store. You can
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Oh yeah now logistics. Oh yeah now logistics. 1, 2, 3. You want order food? Oh yeah now. Straight to your doorstep. We dey come. One pick up something. Oh yeah now. Or drop off something. We dey come. Maybe you need help for shopping. Oh yeah now. Direct from your favorite. We dey come. You want order your cooking gas. Oh yeah now. Direct to your doorstep. We dey come. We dey run massive discount. Oh yeah now. Just place your order now. We dey come. We dey run free delivery when you order. Oh yeah now.
hurry now and download Oya Now app on the Google Play Store or Apple Store. You can also visit us at www.oyanow.ng or call us on 080 84101000 or 081-2355-4000. We are available in Lagos and Abuja. We are now with the call.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
The biggest education fair of the year is here in Abuja, the Double Dove Consult Education Fair. Join us on the 6th of May 2025 at Rockview Hotel Royal, Wuse 2, Abuja from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and unlock your global opportunities. Meet top international universities from Canada, the USA, UK, Australia, Germany, France, Netherlands, and lots more. Explore study options in Masters by Research, PhD, undergraduate, direct masters, and short courses abroad. Get expert advice on scholarships, student loans, and visas at the education fair. Entry is free. Register now. Take a step, conquer the world. Placing students for more than a decade. For more inquiries, contact us on
08052-738-542 or 081-3436-5369. Follow us on social media at Double Dove Consult. Thank you.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Meet the Infinix Note 50 series, defined by pioneers who push boundaries. Its ultra-resilient armor alloy metal frame design gives you that slick, top-notch style. Unlock efficiency with intelligence of the one-tap Infinix AI and circle to search anything on your phone with Google. Need power in a flash? 90 watts fast charge rockets you from 0 to 100% in 38 minutes. Exclusive deals at authorized stores. Get your Note 50 now. The Infinix Note 50 series. Pro design, pro AI.
No offense to the commercials. It's just that we want to see other audio.
Eagles 102.3.
All right, and we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja, and this is Eagles Outlook, where we talk politics and current affairs. Still looking at a very topical issue that bothers on the May Day celebration or Workers' Day celebration, which was commemorated yesterday. And the question or the topic of discussion this morning is assessing NLC's fresh demands. We're supposed to have this conversation with the head of information and public affairs at Nigeria Labour Congress, Benson Opa, but I was able to speak with him while on the commercial break, and he did apologize. Like I said before, he did mention that he would be having some sort of, engagement with a couple of media houses this morning or appearance. So we might just have to reschedule that conversation or this conversation with him for Monday. All right. All things being equal, we just hope that things, would actually pan out well. Regardless, the conversation must continue, and probably the feedbacks from you would form the conversation on Monday. So still looking at Workers' Day celebration this year. Has anything changed? Because according to the NLC President Joe Ajaero, he said, and I quote, that nothing has changed, but the situation has only worsened since the last May Day celebration, which was last year. May 1 last year. So is that to mean that we are not making progress? There no improvement? Because every May Day celebration, you get to have the president, make a speech. You see relevant stakeholders, governors assuring and reassuring, making promises here and there. There seems to be no, monitoring, no implementation of some sort. And of course, this morning as well, we're made to understand what the president is saying concerning the plight of Nigerian workers. And he joined, of course, celebrating with Nigerian workers, just like others are celebrating across the world, or celebrated across the world yesterday. But I think the celebration is still ongoing, right? The president said he's actually very much aware and is acknowledged that Nigerians are experiencing economic hardship. headlined by rising living costs, hunger, insecurity, unemployment, loss of livelihoods, and the pressure of providing for their families. Now, beyond acknowledging the fact that there is an issue, what are we supposed to do as a people, as a nation, to see to it that these issues are addressed? Because you're just wondering at this point in time, if you are an observer and if you look very critically at the progression of events every May 1, right? It's more like the same old song. That's what we're singing. So who are we putting that or apportioning that blame on or to? Is it the NLC? Maybe the NLC has not really been bold enough to negotiate and dialogue with the federal government in realistic terms. Because if we have a situation whereby promises, are made every year, look at the minimum wage that we have on the table at the moment. How many governors have been able to implement that? How many workers are receiving that amount of money at the end of every month as we speak? So the issues, they are many, right? But let's see what your thoughts are. What do you make of all of this, really? And as a Nigerian worker, how excited were you about the May Day celebration yesterday? What are the challenges? What are the issues? Share with us on the show this morning on 09073530044 or 09087668888. Good morning.
Good morning. Point of order, please, from Naja.
All right.
You see, Ajero have tried. You see, this man tried, they beat him off in Imo State. Nothing happened. The next thing, the Nedeko government we have in Nigeria, they are threatening him for treason. You see, Naido escape, if not so, they don't give him charge of treason. That's why you see, he doesn't the issue now, the man have tried. But what I would tell Nigeria, a corrupt country ruled by corrupt men. The honest people in those countries, they are great enemy to the government. Go it and see. And any corrupt country, now youth to the changer. But youth in Nigeria, we don't have youth in Nigeria. If they start, some people say the northern and this and this. Some people say they are not going to put them out. Some people go and put the government down. Some people are going to put the organization down. All the human rights leaders we have in Nigeria here, they are pack off. You see the problem I have, my sister. The president of my country now, he was agent of Nedeko in America. He don't allow Babangida to sleep at all. He don't allow Abacha to sleep until they got the government out of a ministry and give it to politicians. Now it's the president of the country. The same president of the country, see now the country says he's aware about our hardship. Every day, Buhari says he's not aware. But this one says he's aware. You are aware every time you say you are aware, there's nothing you take. You see people dying for hungry. And then people advise you, revise the subsidy of petrol, you say no. All the problems come from a piece of petrol. The revise is no, you say no. All the people we put for NMPC, they are corrupt. Now you have removed them. Money to the NMPC, revise the place of petrol, let everything come out and say no. If somebody will tell me, say, my president will do this, I will say no. The same thing Buhari too. He came out to cry. In Nigeria said the inflation is too much. We give you the government. Buhari punish us, do everything before you go. You send this man where he's agent of Nedeko in America, where we trust, where he put the army down and give the government to civilians. It's the president of the country now. And then we are suffering at this. Me, I'm surprised what a politician be. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Elder Naja, thank you so much. And let's see if we can take a listen to this voice note because our time is already fast spent. Hello, good morning.
Sorry, my name is Ezekiel from Erosion. I need to call the number. It was losing, so let me just today at volume.
All right. I'm not sure that contribution is for this show, but at the end of the day, we just hope, really, with our fingers crossed, that we'll actually get it rightly in terms of negotiating a decent wage for the Nigerian worker, and also ensuring that the right thing is done, as opposed to talking about the same thing every year in, year out. Would you be surprised if we come back this time next year to also talk about the inflation rate, the high cost of living, has eroded the purchasing power of the Nigerian worker and what have you? Just like a caller said, even if we make the minimum wage 200,000 naira, it won't suffice, because it's beginning to look like the higher the minimum wage, the higher, or the higher, yes, the inflation or the cost of living. What an irony, right? Of course, our fingers are crossed, really, but we're looking forward to having a more candid conversation with the NLC head of information, the person of Benson Opa, on Monday. We look forward to having him in the studio so we can ask the very critical questions bothering our minds as Nigerians, and hopefully we reach a point of departure on this issue. Please do well to join the conversation on Monday at exactly 9 a.m. All right. I'd like to state at this juncture that the views expressed on the show were not influenced by the station, and there's a lot more to come. As a matter of fact, at 10 a.m. it'll be time for the general open banter. I think 15 minutes past 10 a.m. specifically, it'll be time for the general open banter. So I encourage you to join us at that time as well. My name is Moefi Peace Osemer, and once again, happy Workers' Day celebration to every and all the proud Nigerian workers that we have out there. Good morning.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hello Nigeria. Hello Africa. Do you want to work in the healthcare sector? Do you want to be a trained, certified nursing assistant?